pleasure, I am thrilled to introduce your 2011 Class Day student speaker, Michael O'Shea.
Pomona! That was Chris's idea, so thanks, Chris. So I'm really sorry, but there won't actually be time for a speech today. We sort of ran a little long with the awards, so we're going to switch straight to a musical interlude that'll conclude today's program. So if you don't mind, I'm going to introduce Michael O'Shea, the accordionist. That wasn't important because there's no speech, so.
I had a graduation
So, actually while I was playing, I realized I had written down a few things on my hand I could talk about. Which includes sending in my Fulbright application, writing to my Aunt Doreen, and making sure I got here for the 1:30 sound check. So, I actually lied, I do have a speech. So, class of 2011, this is amazing. This is our day, we're here, we've done amazing things over 4 years. And I think we should all be really happy to be here. So let's give a round, another round for ourselves. It's a real honor to be here, especially as an accordionist on the football field. Where lacrosse girls and football guys twice my size could probably take me down. So thank you to the football team for letting me speak. So it's great to see the 375 of us, or maybe more, with the additions of later transfer students who are pretty nice. It was also to see all the proud parents in the back, who I can sort of make out without my glasses back there. Proud parents who came from around the world, literally, from the Bay, from New York, from Ghana, the Ivory Coast. Sorry, I'm missing some countries and places, I'm sure, from Japan. So we should thank the parents, too, for coming here today. And also, let's thank all the dedicated deans who always smiled at us when they knew us and called us by name when they could, who for some reason decided to let me speak today against their better judgment. Let's thank them. And finally, let's thank all the great professors who are here, people who have mentored us and inspired us, and whose dedication and patience during office hours knew no limit. Never once did I see David Menefee-Libby's sign-up sheet empty, and usually it was twice full, so let's thank them too. And thank you lastly, President Oxaby, for going after my speech when it blew away. So, why are we? What is Class Day? You know, like, what is Class Day? Is it just sort of a lesser day before graduation without the tear-jerking music? And that odd shredded parachute on Marston Quad? It's just sort of a run-up where the music is better, right? Yeah? The music is better? Okay. So, after you all made the terrible mistake of voting me your Class Day speaker, I was charged with figuring out what Class Day was all about. And to be honest, I didn't know what Class Day was. So like most members of our generation, if they were faced with that task, I went onto YouTube to figure out what Class Day was. And then I found some great speeches from past speakers here, from Columbia College, from all over the place, including a really great video from Alana Ross, who delivered some really stellar oratory for last year's Class Day speaker. If she's here, I want to thank her. I guess she's not here. So as I watched her video, I realized that I couldn't possibly match her East Coast wit or her Jewish good looks. But I did come to a very deep realization about class day. It's simply that, class day, class day. It's about our class. It's our day. It's a celebration of why our class is remarkable. So I had the idea of our class being remarkable when I went down to San Diego last week. And so, San Diego, yeah. So, while most of you were sleeping off hangovers in your beachfront apartments, I wandered the cold beaches of San Diego, dodging pelicans and empty natty containers, thinking about why our class was remarkable. And as the sun rose one day on a Monday, I came to 3 conclusions about our class and why we're remarkable. The first is what we brought to college as great high school graduates. The second was what we achieved here. And 3, which I think is the most remarkable, is how we've made one class out of the odd 400 of us who came as freshmen, many of us not knowing each other. So, on the first point. If you can think back to 2007, a time when Ferry and Frank still had trays and you could eat as much as you wanted. And students slept in twin, not double beds, as they do now in Sontag Hall. Very undeservedly, I think. You'll remember when that great head of admissions, Bruce Pock, who sadly is not here anymore serving, delivered a very flattering summary of our class in Big Bridge's auditorium. His speech was chock full of great stats and stories that made me realize that our class was a pretty impressive bunch. I didn't have any expectations of what California or what people in California were like coming from Chicago. But he told us, yeah, Chicago, go Bulls. We'll win in 5. That's for you, Stefan. I realized that among us, we had student athletes from California, we had rowers from Seattle, musicians from Colorado, ex-military guys from Singapore, strangely enough, and people from all over the world, from Pakistan to Paris to the Deep South. I realized too that we were pretty high achievers. 87% of us were in the top decile of our class, but 15% of us decided that that wasn't good enough and just had to be valedictorians. Also, our class displayed greater ethnic diversity than the US population as a whole. It's pretty neat. And amazing geographic diversity. Luckily, 31% of us came from California to teach us what Scientology and hyphy culture were all about. That was for you, Nate. So on to my second point, which is in danger of blowing away as well. So we came here as these great graduates, pretty remarkable people, but we didn't just rest on our blue and orange laurels. We built upon that, doing remarkable things with our remarkable backgrounds. So, and what were those things? So as Salt and Pepper, as you remember, penned in their 90s smash hits featured in Space Jam, Upside Down, how do I love thee? Let me count the ways. What? We almost got away. So what did we do here? We won Skyac championships. Yeah. We qualified for NC2A tournaments. We set records on the track. That's the pool, sorry. The pool! My gestures are wrong. On the pool, on the track, on the field, everywhere. We worked hard for research grants that let us travel to exotic locales like Chicago, Germany, and the Cook Islands to study photovoltaic cells, environmental tourism, and the effect of research grant money on student spending habits. Oh man, I'm glad these jokes are working out. I was kind of worried. We also more seriously engaged local communities in important service projects and launched socially and environmentally conscious campaigns that change the way people think and ensure our lasting legacy to campus and the surrounding community. And now with our impressive achievements, we can look forward to pretty impressive futures, pretty remarkable futures, I dare say. Doing things like teaching, working in the nonprofit sector, doing community development, working in business, consulting, going to med school, graduate school, possibly working in Alaskan canneries, and most importantly, researching global perceptions of puppets. So, my first 2 points. On to my third in the few minutes that remain. As I said before, we were remarkable people coming in here, and we did remarkable things. Not only in the classroom, on the field, but also occasionally on the dance floor. But I think what's most remarkable is how we've made a single, pretty unified class out of 375 very different people that came from all over the place, from all over the world. We came from every bay, lake, city, village, subdivision, high-rise, and wooden two-flat in the world to come to Pomona. We came from across the US, from the frozen tundras of Alaska to apartments in downtown Tokyo. I think most of you know who I'm talking about right now. From out in the woods, Minnesota, to Chicago's South Side and West Side. Yeah. And all the way from Manhattan's Upper West Side to small town Omaha, Nebraska. We came from places as different as rural Mount Ulla, North Carolina, to Ghana and the Ivory Coast, and from places like Marin County to high-rises in our nation's central cities. All right, I'm done with the I have a dream imagery now. We've done our best to welcome each other, or at the very least tolerate each other. And in doing so, we've made one very beautiful orange and blue jigsaw puzzle of nearly 400 people. So we're here. We've made it through 4 years in the dorms, stimulant-fueled thesis writing at night in ITS, and the very hardships imposed by CMC's giant Walker sunshade. Boo. Sorry, CMC. I hope there's no CMC students who won awards here today. Okay. We weathered contentious issues like the removal of snack on Thursdays and the possible end of Pomona's most celebrated, proudest, and most popular event, the hammer throw. We've done all of this because we've supported one another, honestly, and helped one another, seriously. The things we have in our future, we owe to each other. And how do we do this? By doing things together, like eating together. We went to burritos on Mondays, to Taco Tuesday, to World Walk Wednesday, to Taqueria Thursday, and Sushi Fish Fridays. A lot of alliteration. We've even done things that didn't involve food, like challenging each other in OChem study groups, sitting through senior cello and piano senior recitals, and most of all, slide tackling each other, playing beach soccer in San Diego. Yeah, beach soccer. And sure, there are cliques, tensions, and class divisions, and even tortilla attackers among us. But that's true for any population. What matters here is that we're all here with each other. You know, look to the left, to the right of you, the person back of you, or the person in front of you, though maybe not you in the front row. We're all here together. A day before graduation, listening to Michael O'Shea ramble on. So my time here, like yours, is growing short. 1 minute to be exact, before Susan Dietz, the woman behind the curtain, the Wizard of Oz of the digester, sorry, Chirps as is now known to all you freshmen born after 1989, which is really weird, cuts me off. So I'll end my speech with a very loose paraphrasing of Bilbo Baggins. And he tried toasting his friends goodbye in the same way I tried toasting some of you 1 year ago, you'll remember at the press. He tried thanking his friends, but ended up mostly insulting them. So now I'll try to thank you, try not to insult you. The paraphrasing goes something like this. I know only half of you, half as well as I should, but I like all of you, only half as well as you deserve. So thank you so much, class of 2011, for letting me speak. We're remarkable people. Let's keep doing remarkable things. Thank you.